Hello, my name is Samuel Warwick. I have autism. The entertainment industry has been a huge part of my childhood. So by being inspired to see other entertainment podcasters interviewing other people from television shows, I decided to do one myself. To know about some funny behind the scenes, bloopers, and some stuff that we probably didn't know about while they were making the certain type of show. This is Entertainment Treasure Talk with Samuel Warwick. Let's go to the podcast now. Hello there, everybody. This is Samuel Warwick here, and welcome back to another episode of Entertainment Treasure Talk with Samuel Warwick. I'm your host as always, and welcome to my first podcast of 2022. I am very excited to be doing this, and actually I have my co-host for the first time. It's Ryan T. How are you doing today, Ryan?
Doing good.
All right. I am actually very excited for this episode because this is actually this actually is really exciting because we have a lot of Baby Einstein fans out there, and I'm here with one of the music people who actually helped out with the show. His name is Tom Nazziola. And hello, how are you doing?
Good. How you doing, Sam?
I am doing good. One thing to say, it's just a really huge part of my childhood to be able to, get in contact with a composer from my childhood. So, my toddlerhood, the show, the video series ran on for so long till like 2010, I believe.
Yeah, went for a while. True.
But yeah. Anyway, first of all, I have to ask you, what made you start getting into music?
I started at a really young age. I'm talking about 3 or 4 years old. And my father is a musician. So we had instruments around the house. Music was a really big part of my background. And I just started naturally playing drums when I was that young, banging on pots and pans, whatever it is I could play in the house. So it's really been a part of my life since as long as I can remember.
Wow, that is really interesting. I mean, I'm getting into music too. I mean, I was actually in the band. I was a bass player. I was like a tuba player, so I was in the band. So, yeah. And also, how did you get the role to compose for Baby Einstein?
Well, so I didn't actually do any composing for it. What my role was, as you know, Baby Einstein is basically pieces by famous classical composers like Mozart, Bach, Brahms. So I was called by a friend of mine. This is before Disney was involved. And it was a company run by Julie Clark.
Yes.
Right. And basically, my friend William Weisbach, who's the producer for this, he got in touch with me and asked if I'd like to be involved in playing down pieces from scores for this project, Baby Einstein. And we did this for several years. And after a while, it really, as you know, it became very popular. And Disney started courting Julie Clark and her company about perhaps selling the whole brand to Disney, which is what happened.
Yes.
And we stayed on once Disney took over. So we had quite a few products out there under the Disney.
Yes. That is real. That's really cool. I mean, for as long, I don't know how long it would have stayed if Julie would have only, kept producing it, but, I think did you ever meet her at all? Did you meet her and her daughters?
A good question. I never in person. I think we maybe spoke on the phone, but Bill Weisbach was basically the go-between for us and the Baby Einstein company. So we'd get feedback and emails and whatnot, but it was basically our team over here in New Jersey and communicating with Julie, and I was in Colorado.
Oh wow! Yeah, she lives in Colorado still. Her daughters are older now. I've seen it. I've seen some of their pictures, and they're actually really much older. And I'm like, yeah, I think one of the very first ones they did was actually with them in it, and then
Aspen did it. Aspen only did it for the Clark part of it, but then Sierra continued on with Disney. So that's really something because her last appearance was actually in Baby Beethoven.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I gotta say, for her final appearance, she actually did really good. She actually did really good. So what was it? What was something I was gonna ask? Oh yeah. I don't know if you would really know this, but I actually am a big fan of this sound font that you guys used. It was called Proteus 2000.
Oh yeah, Proteus.
Yeah. It was also used in another one of my favorite shows. Which I'm also a big fan of, Thomas and Friends. It was also used in that because Mike O'Donnell and Junior Campbell used it. So that was and a lot of Thomas fans are actually trying to recreate their music by using that software, which I find really, really, really cool. And I think a lot of Baby Einstein fans did this.
Yeah, I actually, for clarification, so in my role, I would basically play all of the music using a regular piano stand just to get the music inputted. Yeah, once that was finished, that would then go to Bill Weisbach, and he actually chose the sounds that had become the sound of Baby Einstein. So all of the sound palette was done by Bill Weisbach. He really created the sound of Baby Einstein.
Yeah, that's really cool. Now was Baby Einstein a rough cut? Was it like a rough cut? Like, did you guys do like a rough cut? Did you guys like play like the music while the footage would roll? That's what I believe a rough cut is.
You know, not sure what the process was beyond the recording because we never saw any of the footage when we were doing the music. So think of it this way: they would select the pieces, they would tell us what they wanted recorded, and we would just work on the music. So by the time it got sent to Bill Weisbach, it was then in the stage of working with video. So I never really saw the video.
Wow.
When we were doing the performing of the music, that was all prior to the video.
Wow. And actually, I think I did hear that you were on like another podcast with somebody. Like I believe it was the music of Baby Einstein. I actually saw your video about that, and you said that one of your favorite pieces, which is one of my favorite pieces as well, is certainly Baby Van Gogh.
Yeah. I really like the selections for that.
Yes, it's probably one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. It just looks like, it just sounds like a movie.
Yeah,
it really does.
There's a lot. I'd say there's more color in that one. There's more just of a variety of sounds, and I think it's really effective in that way. And the music's wonderful.
Yes, I really find that pretty cool. I find that real cool.
Yeah,
I find that just really, really cool.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think I actually have I have two of them right here. I have two of the movies right here. Now, if I can I don't know if I can reach, but I have two of them right here. So yeah, I do have the DVD of Baby Van Gogh. So I have that.
Right.
And I actually have Nursery Rhymes. I do have a couple. Yes. I have Nursery Rhymes. So I do actually have a couple more. I do have a lot more, but I couldn't bring them out at the moment.
Okay.
But I just wanted to show off that this is my
stuff too. They sent. I was able to get a copy of everything.
You got copies of those?
So basically, we really did a lot of titles. I mean, I got copies of all the CDs as well as the videos, and I'm sure I've done over 20 titles. With Baby Einstein, a great deal. Baby Bach, Baby Mozart.
Yes. I have Baby Bach.
Yeah, a lot of them. So the videos are great. I have all the DVDs. I have them up to the point that I worked on it. I don't have.
Now some of this stuff was actually recreated. Some of the they recreated footages. They re-put footages for a lot of stuff. So, but. If I may ask you, what's your least favorite project that you've worked on?
In terms of Baby Einstein?
Yes, in terms of Baby Einstein. What's your least favorite?
I don't think there is one. I mean, because, all of the music that we worked on was from the great masters and composers. And there may have been some that were more interesting, like Baby Van Gogh, but there wasn't any that was a least favorite because... Getting to play that music and to look at the scores and be a part of that process, every title was fun. Mm-hmm. Every title.
I see. Wow, that's that's really something. And also, I think it's probably a good thing that Julie did sell all those things to Disney. I mean, at least she didn't really sell it to, Hit Entertainment, which was Hit Entertainment at the time, Mattel. At least she didn't sell it to those, because honestly, even though I'm a big Hit Entertainment fan, we're Hit Entertainment fans, so even though I'm a big fan of that, I think that putting it with how Hit Entertainment is now, Mattel, oh my gosh, they probably would have made Baby Einstein terrible.
Yeah, Disney was the right, I think, place for it, because they also have a track record of developing brands like that, children's brands. And, obviously they've been around for a long time, so that was probably the best move to make. And also, look at how they developed it and the exposure it's given.
Wow, that, yes.
It's going throughout the world.
Yes, absolutely, yes. And I'm pretty sure there were like foreign DVDs. I don't know if you were aware about any foreign dubs.
I'm
not
not
like any
aware
like
of those. No, not aware.
I think I did see like a UK dub to actually Nursery Rhyme.
Really?
Yes, and I think I saw a UK dub to Baby Van Gogh as well. Oh
that would make sense. I could see that.
Yeah, and actually they so technically I think they voiced over the actual kids that we had in America. The UK people actually voiced over kids, which is kind of weird to me. I don't think that really mix.
Yeah.
Because just it should be their own voice. Now if it's in cartoons like Thomas did, they had the UK dub was different and Thomas and so that makes sense. That makes sense because Thomas is a cartoon, but these are real life people. So well, Thomas is like a model. He was originally a model, but a cartoon now. But yeah, he has a model. Hey Ryan, you got any questions for this dude right here, or you got anything you want to say?
I guess I have a couple of questions to ask him.
Go ahead.
How old are you, Tom?
How old am I? That wasn't on the list.
That wasn't really on the list, Ryan.
But it sounds like you're an adult, right?
Yes, I am. I've been an adult.
Did you marry a wife? Do you have any kids?
Yeah.
I'm not married. It's an interesting question because I've made music such a big part of my life that I really didn't want to pursue that path. There's so many things to do musically, like Baby Einstein, which I know you're both interested in. That's really just a small portion of the many things that I do. I just finished getting my PhD in composition.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you. I just did a lot of things that just took a lot of time, and I've just gone this direction. So I'm just consumed by music.
Yeah, and actually last night before this podcast, I was actually listening to some of Baby Beethoven last night. And
that's a great one.
Honestly, to really be fair with you, watching some of the footages, like watching some of the sound effects that y'all did, Baby Beethoven was actually the very first one I remember watching. Actually, some of the stuff actually creeped me out. Some of the Baby Beethoven stuff creeped me out. Some of the sound effects.
And just so you know, for that too, so the sound effects that are used, that's also coming at a later stage. So I have no idea what's going to occur with the sound effects or the visual. When I'm doing my part, it's just playing through the music from the scores. So it's a complete mystery to me what will happen once it goes to the next stage of production.
Oh wow!
I didn't even remember that one. I have to go back and look at the video. I remember the music well, but I'm not sure I remember the.
But actually, one of my favorite parts of that video is actually in the Beethoven video was actually listening to Willington the cow. I think that's his name, Willington.
Okay.
I love listening to some of the stuff. Like I actually keep every time I listen to like the French version of Willington, I sing to the bear comes over the mountain. I always sing that. Like I always think about that. But
it's what it.
Yeah. But one of my favorite pieces in Baby Van Gogh would have to definitely be the Purple song. I love the Purple song.
The Purple song, is that... now, I'm wondering if that's... Because there are some pieces that Bill Weisbach created himself. Does that have another title to it? Is there
I think it's Ravel or what? Ravel? I'm not entirely sure. Yes, and I also love the Green song, too, because it reminds me of like that Pictures of Exhibition. Which yes, I actually first heard it in a thing called, I don't know if you're aware of Anna music or not. Are you like?
I'm not really, actually.
Yes. So there's actually a thing called Anna music.
This is what I like.
And I actually was listening to Anna. That's the first time I heard this was Anna music, and then when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, I've heard this before, and it was really cool.
Nice.
So, yeah. Well, now I know you never.
Ryan, did you have another question? It seemed like you maybe were trying to say something.
I know, but even though my favorite part about Baby Van Gogh, like any colors on, like I don't know, I think on my favorite it'd have to be just all 6 colors on Baby Van Gogh, and you know, the music and all the toys and stuff that's in each color and has kids. Even though I like kids, you know, it's just memorable to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever have you met the puppeteer, like the puppeteer Marky? You never met Marky?
Sorry. Unfortunately, I've never really met anybody on the other side of production besides audio. So think of it this way: the audio team was for the most part Bill Weisbach, Clive Smith, who I worked with directly, and myself. So Clive and I were the ones who took care of all of the music performance of the classical pieces. We would work together and, for instance, do a Ravel piece or a Beethoven piece. And then that would get sent to Bill Weisbach.
Yeah.
And he would take all that information and choose the sounds and the colors and everything that you're hearing in terms of how the music's projected.
Yes.
Was taken care of from him.
Yes.
So we never really meet with the puppeteers or the
So you just did the piano. You just did the piano and everything.
Yeah, we did the piano, and then what happened is that piano was recorded as MIDI information on the computer, and that MIDI information was sent to Bill, and he would assign sounds to all the different parts. And that's basically how you get the
that is really cool. It's just cool. How music just takes so much time. So much time and just production to really do. I'm just interested.
A lot of time.
I'm just interested in a lot of these things. That's why I started this podcast, because as an autistic dude right here, I'm really smart. I'm just really wanting to know these informations about all of our television. I saw all these podcasts, and I'm like, well, I was a little nervous to really ask people to really be in my podcast, because it's just you never know how they're really like, if they're nice, if they're mean, if they're
it's a risk,
and you don't really want to bother them. But I kindly emailed you and asked if you would be a part of my podcast, and you agreed, and I said, and I was like, okay, we got ourselves a podcast, and I'm like, I got it, I just got to keep stuff rolling.
Yes.
So you're actually my first music composer on my. You're actually the first musician on my podcast. Actually, I do have a couple more planned. I do want to get a few people from another puppet show that I've been watching. I don't think you would know the show, but the show was actually called. It's a Jim Henson show called Animal Jam, and hopefully I was getting the composers. Going to get the composers there.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah.
Are the different podcasts focusing on different products, like the different puppet shows? So in other words, it's not just Baby Einstein.
It's any show. Yeah, I got somebody who did. I got an actor who did some things in Florida. I got an actor who did things in Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
And last time I got a voice actor who was actually from New Jersey as well. He was actually a voice of a Sonic character. And yeah, you probably wouldn't know who he is. His name was Pete. So. Yeah, he's.
I don't know people in that world so much.
Yeah, and I think I'm getting another voice actor next episode, and I think for another one I'm getting another puppeteer, a Henson puppeteer. So, yeah, but as well as composers, I don't know, but you're actually my first one.
Okay.
You're actually my first one. So, what was really another one I was really gonna ask? Sometimes I talk about a lot, and it gets.
Well, actually, I had a question for either of you. Are you interested in music? Do either of you play music?
Yes, I actually am interested in some music. Well, I'm actually getting into sound design.
Sound
Actually,
design.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
getting into like the designing of sound. I've done some, I've instrumentalized stuff before. Actually, I think people have posted some of your songs, and I think people have made instrumentals out of them.
Okay.
So it's the fan base. So but I bet you guys did do the music ahead of time before you guys actually released some of these. You guys actually did the music ahead of time for some of
Yes.
these things. You guys for example, Baby Beethoven. I think you did some of the music in '99, I believe.
Yeah, we started. I mean, Baby Einstein itself, before Disney got
Yes.
involved. I think we started around 99, somewhere around there, the late 90s.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Disney came on board somewhere in there. I think so. Maybe it was even 97. But anyway, we
Yeah.
started the first few years with Julie Clark, and then
Yes.
we knew Disney was interested, and then they
Yes.
waited till they had more titles
Yes.
under their belt, and then they made the
Yes.
purchase.
Yes. Yes. That's.
Yeah.
And honestly, I do prefer the Clark era better than the Disney era,
Do
of
you?
course. I do, because not
That's
only that,
interesting. Why is that?
the Clark. Well, we call it the. I think. I call it the Clark era.
I mean,
the
why
Clark-
do you prefer that area? Why do you-
just because it was, it was produced by Julie and it was created by Julie, so we went
I
on
see.
ahead and call it like that. And then the Disney era is when everything else. And I mean, now how is your production with kids too? That's now doing this. What's your thoughts?
What's my about what production with what?
I think they did. I think. Yeah, kids too is now.
Well, you
is
mean
now
what
going-
they're doing now? You
Yes.
mean-
How do you like what they're
Yeah,
doing?
I don't really. I have to be honest. I haven't really followed them beyond Baby Einstein, in terms of where they went with it, because I stopped working for them probably, I don't know, 2007, 8, somewhere around then.
So you
I think
didn't compose the last bits of the music. You didn't do the last bits.
I did. I have to look at what the last one we did was.
I
but
think- I don't know, but I think the very last one that was released was actually either like World Animals, World Safari, or World Music.
The World Animals one. I remember that, but eventually they shifted and went in a different direction, and so none of us are involved in whatever they went. So we really kind of, didn't really follow them anymore because we weren't working for them anymore. So
yeah, that is actually
now,
something.
I'm curious. I did another children's show, and I'm wondering if you've ever heard of it. It was on PBS for a while, called Diddy Doodle Works.
I might have heard of it. I don't know though. I might have heard of it.
Well, check that out when you have a chance. Diddy, Ditty.
I might have heard of it. I know. I'm a big PBS fan myself, so I'll have to definitely go back.
That
because
was something where it was a children's show, and a partner and I created the music, a lot of the music for that. We were one of the composers on it, so that was original music, and it had the same thing. It had puppeteers. I think Jim Henson may have been a part of it for a while too.
Wow.
So there's some
Wow. So you got a chance to work with some of the Muppeteers. Wow.
Well, I think we spoke to him once, but if you look that up online, maybe YouTube it.
But then he passed away.
You'll see another children's product that was involved in, and then
I have to check that out.
I have a new thing out for babies, and it's basically called Music My Baby.
That's
And
interesting.
basically, it's classical music, sort of like Baby Einstein, but specifically designed to help babies sleep.
Oh, nice. Sometimes I do that with Baby Einstein. Sometimes, how soothing some of the stuff is. I make it.
Yeah.
Just.
Well, that's what this is designed for. It's for children younger than you that have problems sleeping, and this music is completely relaxing from the first.
That is really cool, but yeah. So besides, besides the whole software, I don't know if you were aware about this, but during this, I think they actually used the Thomas figure in Baby Newton.
Okay.
Yeah, they actually used they used Bulgy the bus, which is
okay,
which is one of the characters from Thomas. They used Bulgy the bus in there. And
Right.
I like that little trumpet ditty that you did, because actually a mixture of Thomas and just a bunch of Thomas music and just a toy rolling around.
Okay.
Yeah, Proteus is one of my favorite sound fonts, and I adore listening to it. I wanted to compose with that. I tried doing a couple of compositions with that, but it didn't. But I didn't have it for so long, so.
Proteus, you mean?
Yeah, like wasn't it like Proteus 2000 is what you used?
It could be. Yeah, it was.
Or was it Emu? Or was it Emu?
It may have been 2000. It was an older Proteus sound.
Yes.
And but you know what? I mean, and we may have had the actual physical hardware. Now you can get the soft synth, the software, and just load the sounds.
Yes.
Sound.
Yeah, the hard. Yeah. Back then you had to have hardware. You didn't have
exactly.
VSTs or.
I think we probably used that back then.
Yeah, that is really cool. Do you still have any of the scores kept from it though? Like any of the early drafts or anything kept?
Well, I have all of the scores because the way it worked was, let's say they were doing Baby Mozart, so they would select all of the pieces that they wanted to use for the album, and then I would purchase the scores by Mozart. And I would work on playing them because I would play those scores directly into the computer on piano.
Oh wow!
So I have all
that's really cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Like, did you I don't know if did the computer have like a USB port back then? Because I don't know. I don't know.
I think so. I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think it was a MIDI cable, which has been used for a long time.
I'm just curious about all this. I'm just curious about all this because I really, I'm really into, knowing stuff about, entertainment and everything.
Right.
So I'm just really, 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 I'm just really interested in this. But honestly, even though I don't know, I barely watched the show. How was it like to, work on, that PBS show? How the
Diddy Doodle Works?
Yes.
That was fun because with that, now this you might find interesting. Unlike Baby Einstein, with this, we were actually given the footage of the show. So we would create the music to go with the footage. We weren't just creating music without seeing anything. So we were more involved in that production than we were in Baby Einstein. We would actually get the show and we would add music to it, so we knew what it was going to look and sound like.
Oh wow. But yeah, that's really cool. That is really cool. And people have many different productions. Some people work on music, some people work on the, and you were part of this band, so you didn't directly compose Baby Einstein, but you just did the pianos and everything, and
right.
I don't know if you remember who was on trumpet or drum or anything.
Well, so a lot of those instruments were synth or sampled instruments, but there were some live people. So, for instance, on the oboe and English horn, a friend of mine, Dan Willis, played live on that. Another person that played flute was Aaron Drake. So we did bring in some people to play live, and they would mix those live performances with the Proteus sounds and the other sounds.
Very nice.
Combination.
How did you guys get the whole band together to how did you get the whole band together to do that?
Well, we would do it by individual sessions. So, for instance, we would have the oboe player come over and record his part. So there weren't other musicians. There was just a piano track.
So it was just one by one, people going one by one, and then you put it in together, just like voice acting.
That's right.
Yeah, just like voice acting, you would just go in one by one.
That
is actually something I would have loved to hear. I would have loved to hear a session together. A whole. Are you sure you guys didn't have any times where you guys did stuff together, or was it just all
we
one?
didn't. It was all individual parts that were put down.
All right. But that is really something. Maybe and a lot of people do that because sometimes it gives people more time to really think.
Well, it's actually also just easier to manage.
Yeah, I see. It's easier to manage, instead of just one going out and one heading in, one talking to each other, interacting. But sometimes interaction works too, either way.
Yeah.
But
we just didn't need it for But
Yeah, do you remember the exact studio where it was recorded? Was it recorded here? And then the music was recorded here in like the East Coast, wasn't it?
it was recorded in New Jersey.
Okay, so you guys did the music in New Jersey. Wow, that's very cool. I ought to find the studio where it was recorded at. That's really.
It was
nice.
a home studio, actually.
Oh, nice! So you did that. You did it professionally at a home studio.
Correct.
Wow, that is great. So you guys would you guys would go over to that person's house. Like, was it
We would
Bill's
go to that
house?
home studio, and then we would send that to Bill Weisbach, his own studio
So
set.
Bill Weiss, I'm trying to think. Bill Weiss, I think Bill Weisbach was in Colorado, wasn't he?
No. He was in New Jersey here.
Oh, and but then you guys would send the music to Julie up there.
Yes.
Down there in Colorado, and then they would film. I think they would film. They started at a house. I read that they started at a house. They started just at a house.
A lot of this started, in a sort of grassroots level, and
then they moved to an office, which is really really cool. And then Disney took it over, and then now they're at a big studio. They're at a big studio in like Glendale. I think in like Glendale, California. I think.
Right. Yeah, I'm not really familiar with what they did on their end because, as I said, it was really separate from what we did.
Wow, that is real. That is really really something.
Yeah.
That is really something, and also, I'm trying to think. One of the things I like about Baby Van Gogh is actually the parts where the kids talk. They actually talk and they say the colors.
Yeah.
They say the colors like blue, green, yellow. Oh my gosh! Honestly, that's really that's really cool. That's another reason why Baby Van Gogh is one of my favorites.
That's great. Yeah, it was definitely a good title.
But anyway, I think we do have a question. We do have a couple of questions by someone, and his name is Martin Krebs, and shout out to him because he's the only one that really comments on much of my podcast. I did do an announcement saying that you were going to be on, but nobody really commented.
That's okay.
So so he actually asked, "What's your favorite classical piece of all time?"
Wow, that's difficult.
Yeah, there's a lot of good music out there.
I don't even know if I could pick one. I mean, that's really hard. I could tell you some of the pieces I like. That are very strong, though I couldn't say one. For instance, Mahler's Fifth Symphony, the Adagietto movement. I really like the Bach Inventions. I like Pictures at an Exhibition by Mussorgsky. Let's see. I like a lot of the Debussy preludes on piano. Really like that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, but it would be really difficult to pick an actual piece.
Yeah, and I think these next two questions we probably confirmed. What was it like working on Baby Einstein? He says.
It was fun actually because I knew the people I was working with. We were good friends, and it was a learning experience for me too because I got to play the scores by these composers and really get to look deeply at the music they've written. So it was educational for me as well as fun to do the job.
And I think his third question is, and we've already confirmed it. What was your favorite video to work on? And we confirmed that it's Baby Van Gogh. But if you have
Yeah, I'd say that's up there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Were you also there for like the 10th anniversary of Baby Einstein when it was there? Were you there for the 10th anniversary? I know that they did something for like the 10th.
I don't
anniversary.
remember if they did. I don't remember what.
Oh, you weren't aware that they did it. You weren't aware that they did the 10th anniversary thing. I know that they did a video. I know that Aspen and Sierra did the video. Where Julie did a video of her and her daughters, Aspen and Sierra, on one video. So I don't know if you saw that. It was like the 10th anniversary, and like her daughters looked a little older.
Yeah,
and,
I haven't seen that. Yes, I'm not familiar. Yeah.
You have not seen that. Wow. You haven't seen anything that has to do with the 10 years. But
not really. No, I mean I haven't really lost touch with anything beyond the working period that I was involved.
Yeah.
Because I went on
I
projects
would have
and,
loved.
of course,
I would,
another way.
you know something. I would love to. I would love to get Mrs. Clark in. Would like to get Mrs. Clark in my podcast in the future. Her and her daughters, and ask them their experience to see how it was
That's
like
a good
to
idea.
work.
You would get a lot more information about.
Yeah,
the
I
other-
would. I would get a lot more information from. I believe I would get a lot more information from her and her. But I don't really know how to reach them. I don't really know how to reach them.
I would just Google contacts for Julie Clark and and Baby Einstein and see what comes up. I'm sure there's got to be some way of
I
finding.
mean,
her.
yeah.
Or go look for a website that she may have.
I think so, but I don't. Yeah, I think she does Mommy Made now. I think I saw that, and I might contact her through there. I don't know if she'll respond to me though.
It's always worth a try. You never know.
I've emailed a few people that I've wanted on my podcast, and some of them haven't really gotten back to me yet.
Okay.
But that's really cool because I have a feeling that it would be great if I could get her and maybe her daughters on here. I'd love to get her daughters on here, most definitely.
Give it a try. I think it's worth a try.
I definitely want to get her daughters on here. I think it would be great because So yeah, I'll just ask it. What was one of your favorite sound fonts you ever used? What were some of the sound fonts you used for some of your music composing? What were some of the sound fonts?
You're talking about for the Baby Einstein stuff?
I mean, yeah, Baby Einstein or anything.
Well, so I don't, I don't have the same library that Bill Weisbach has we do with Baby Einstein, but I do have things that I like on my own. I like the Garriton Orchestra, which has some really nice sounds in it. I use Contact, which has tons of great sounds, including the Proteus, I think is
Yes, and also, I was about to ask you guys about this. Do you know about any time when, so in some videos, the kids would sing in Baby Einstein as well?
I don't really know about that stuff.
You don't really know? You don't really know about the kids singing?
All of that is done after we're finished. So
so you guys just...
access to
also, I'd love to hear some of the official instrumentals of, like the parts that the kids sing.
I would ask Julie about that.
I would love to hear some of the instrumentals. I'd love to hear some of the instrumentals, maybe even the dubbing tracks to some of these.
Right.
I would love to hear some of these. Yeah. That's really something. I mean, I've been listening to a couple of dubbing tracks myself, so people from the Thomas fan base have found dubbing tracks, so that's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's something that's worth asking Julie about.
That if I can get in contact with her, but if I do, I will definitely email you and let you know that I got Julie.
Yeah, I think you should be able to do it. I
don't know if you can probably help out with trying to get her on, like maybe calling her.
I don't have her contact information either, so I would probably be doing the same thing you're going to do, which is to go on Google, find her website for the company she has now, and then there should be contact information on that website. And I would do that, and then hopefully that will get to her, maybe through somebody else.
Yeah, I really would like her to have anything. But Ryan, you've been silent most of the time. Do you have any questions for any more questions, or do you want to talk to him about anything?
I don't know. I think I have enough. I'm just getting a couple of questions to Tom.
All right. Wow, that was that was something, dude. This is something. I mean, this has been great. I've been talking to, I've had the pleasure to be working with Tom, one of the people from my childhood today, and it's
it's
great.
been great to do this, and I appreciate the questions.
It's really great. But yeah,
let me know how you make out with getting in touch with Julie.
But I think we got some more. I think we got some more. But I know some of the I don't think the puppets were officially made by Julie. Were they? I don't know if they were. I think they were bath puppets, and people have been trying to use bath in that particular famous have been using bath puppets. I want to get some of the bath puppets. I want to get some of them, and I want to especially the Van Gogh. I like Vincent Van Gogh. That's what his name is, Vincent Van Gogh.
Vincent Van Gogh, that's right.
That's what actually really comes. But I'm trying to think of some more questions. Yeah, do you know how much time you still have?
I probably got like 5 minutes if that's okay. I'm just
Okay.
traveling a little later.
Okay,
So.
okay.
And by the way, just if you want, you can always email me questions after the podcast. If you think of some things that
Okay.
you want to even use in the future on a podcast, I can
All right.
send you the answers. This
All
way
right.
you can,
All right.
follow.
Well, I don't think I have any questions now, but if you do want to ever come back, if maybe I might have you back. It would be great.
Yeah, just ask me. Just ask.
It might be great because I'd love to try to have you back for the podcast. Maybe I'll go live and ask people and have people to ask questions with, or
That's a good idea.
maybe because we have a lot of Baby Einstein fans here.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. I like that one.
Yeah, but since you have 5 minutes left, I want to just say thank you for joining me today. You are really awesome. You're really
I appreciate
awesome,
that.
and
Thank you.
thank you for your service in the entertainment community.
Thank you.
And yeah, guys, I believe for my next podcast, we're going to be interviewing somebody from, I believe, another New York person again from
Okay.
New York, and he's a voice actor. I believe if I can get him, his name is Mark Thompson, and I'm going to
Okay.
be getting him into the podcast. And I believe in May, actually, we're going to be in Ricky Boyd, who was actually part of the Henson Company.
Oh, wow.
We're going to be interviewing Ricky Boyd, actually, and I believe we're going to have John Kennedy probably in the second week of February. So if you guys have any for any of them, please comment down below, or please comment in one of my videos. And yeah. And yeah, well, thank you. And yeah, and once again, Ryan, thank you for joining me.
You're welcome.
And Tom, once again, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys
Right.
for watching. And if you guys want to watch any more of my podcasts, just there are other episodes there. And stay tuned for more podcast episodes.
Okay,
See
take
you,
care, guys.
everyone.